All right. Oh, goodness. Now, microphone audio is going to be probably not the best. I do have a noise gate on, so it's going to help somewhat when I take pauses. But every attempt to get a good video signal, I don't have my GoPro trying to connect the phone, which is what I'm using right now, to the PC for OBS is not working that well either. So, like trying to get a setup here. I've been wanting to do this pretty much every week, but I've been on the road. But there's so much to getting a good live stream setup, especially when you're in a hotel. So I just set it at my usual 25 megabits up to YouTube. Struggling to even give me 10, so I set it to 6. So I'm not really sure what the quality is going to be, but I'm stuck using the 6, 8, yeah, 800 by 640 or something. So the resolution's also low. So something I discovered in the last hour are the multitude of like camera, use your phone camera, apps on the App Store are pretty much all crap, and this one's the best one, which really can't like buy into it. And then I specifically had to run it over USB, which gave me a lower resolution, and because I'm using the free app, because I couldn't stream to YouTube through my hotspot. It just wouldn't let me. It wouldn't create the stream, wouldn't upload the thumbnail or any of that stuff. So, and I'm noticing I don't have my chat. Where am I streaming to? Okay, I thought. Okay. Let me see if I can find. There you go. Alright, now I have my chat pulled up here. Okay. So, I don't know if anybody is even watching this evening. This is more for testing purposes, really, for me, so I can go back and view this. Obviously, I'd rather have my nice mic set. So today, one thing, if anybody is, so I was actually recording the road right out here south of where the hotel is. People do this to me sometimes, and I guess I don't understand it, but you'd flip me off. And I guess that it's a weird experience, right? When you're not, it'd be different if I'm like bothering weaving through traffic or blocking people or like being an asshole, but when I'm literally just coming down the street and people flip the bird to me, and most of the time I think they think it's because I'm a Google car, and just because Google had mapping cars doesn't mean that everybody that wants to map stuff is Google. And I've been to prison, so it's really not a good idea. Like, why do people want to provoke it? But like, you have to think about the context of that. Flipping me off while I'm out recording roads is like the equivalent of me coming to your job and flipping you off. Standing there, could you imagine? I don't know where a lot of these people work because nobody seems to be working. They're always out driving all the time. This South Arlington Road right behind me, 2 lanes, and there's only like 2 stop lights, and they're very far apart from each other. And the whole city's traffic goes down the. So like trying to make a left turn on either side of the road, down towards that, it ain't happening. Especially when at like 5 p.m. when everybody was letting out and getting out for the day, I couldn't. I eventually ended up going across the street into the construction zone to end my recording because I literally sat there and there was just cars and cars and cars. But anyways, on the subject of somebody flipping me off, let's say you work at McDonald's, and I know people at McDonald's take a lot of shit, but it's not like people are coming in like right beside you at where you're at your station and just in your face flipping you off. I don't understand the thought process there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm cool. I'll be on the. If you flip me off while I'm out mapping anything, you're flipping off one of my coworkers, which I don't like, or you're flipping off county engineers, which these are the people that are responsible for maintaining your infrastructure, where you live at. So you want to flip them off because you're a child. That's what it is. I'm not talking to anybody specifically. I'm just getting stuff off my chest because the other side of the road was blocked too, so he had to wait on me to pass. And you have these intrusive thoughts in your head, right? Where you just like want to block him in real quick and fly out the car, like, okay, buddy, F you too, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna flip birds for nothing now, for no apparent reason, because it's cool. I don't get it. I've seen the peace sign, you can wave, like there's all kinds of stuff. I wasn't even recording, so it's a moot point. Like he flipped off nothing, except for me, which pissed me off, but it's been all day, man, so I keep going back to it in my mind. And I'm like, this asshole. uh, and I have your license plate number and all that stuff because the top cameras aren't recording, dash cam's always recording. So it's not like I couldn't find the person, but who's going to go through that much trouble? But people really need to think about that kind of shit. Just look at all the craziness that's going on in the world. People are shooting up places over the dumbest stuff. You know what I mean? Like, all it takes is that one person to decide, screw it. Or it just takes that one instance to listen to that bad, intrusive thought in your head. You know what I mean? We all have those intrusive thoughts. So, just a PSA in case you're in a town where I'm going to be coming to Mobile Map. I am usually pretty quick, and if you're in a city, you're not really going to be stuck behind me because I can go up to 35 miles an hour. So if you're like in town, you're on a road that's 45, sure, it's going to be a little annoying. even that I understand. Like, flip me off while you go around me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not as happy about that. But like when I was coming this way, dude was coming this way. So like I wasn't in his way, or so I just I don't know. It just hasn't sat right with me all day. Because people suck, and I genuinely enjoy what I do. Uh, but those thoughts, I always think about that when I get and anything like that happens when I'm out there, because it really is the equivalent of me going to like you know even the Tesla factory or wherever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna stand here on the assembly line and just, I get these, you know what I mean? Like, and then or wait until you've done your job. That's what I'll do. You can, like, actually put in the work and make the part, and then right as you look up to, like, store it or whatever, I'll be right there. And chances are that would piss you off, especially if you weren't expecting it. You'd be like, who the hell is this asshole here flipping me off? I do this job every day. You know what I mean? Like, uh, anyway, I'm having Chinese. I'll try not to crunch things into oblivion. But anyways, green is almost completely completed. Completely completed. We're almost finished here with mobile mapping of quite a few roads done here. Yeah, like 20 roads left. So, anyways, I definitely just wanted to test and make sure that I could actually do this from the hotel. Looks like I can. Anybody, please say something in the chat so I rest assured to at least sometimes work. Because I've been at hotels where it's pretty shitty. It's pretty bad here too. I'm having a hard time dreaming that 6,000 dipping in once in a while. So, anyways, been a long day for me. I obviously had a point of contention. I've been trying to keep my mind thinking progressively about getting some good information together. You build guide. Computer builds have kind of stand out, and there's more than just gaming. And I think for the context, a lot of people are, of course, they might be able to get in their computer, but you know, like I've got on my channel, I've done reviews of those V-Link systems. You can get one of those, slap Linux on it, install a web server. You know what I mean? You can buy an old off-lease office machine, add a video card to it. You can put it in another case. They make adapter cables to be able to put an actually good power supply in there. Sorry. I did it with an HP 600 2. I believe it was. Maybe it was a 4th gen i5 system. It will take it completely out of the case, add a video card, put an actual modular power supply in it. There are other options besides completely brand new from the Micro Center or what have you. So they're like overall goals, because somebody might even like, hey man, you want this computer? Nobody uses it. You're like, thing. You know what I mean? Like, you have so many options. There's like 17 different ways you can go with it, but they're not all focused around basic case with mesh on the front, few fans, M.2 SSD, GPU. There's still a lot more out there than that. So my interest is also keeping things out of e-waste. I really want to help preserve our planet. And so I also thought about doing where I pull old cases out of the trash, or save them from the trash pile. Cases mainly, they're pretty reusable, but even if they're outdated, maybe recycling or getting rid of the front panel and reprinting a new one. Have the motherboard, all that stuff, hacked, and then for the style, because I've seen some 3D printed cases, and they always do. They're always like trying to change what a piece is, or I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I just like literally most PC cases, at least in the last 10 years or so, and even some older than that, are only metal where it holds the motherboard and the components. Front panel is usually plastic, so this gives you options where you add in your own USB 3.0. Like you can pretty much customize your front panel. You can add drive bays if you want. You know what I mean? Like, and if you a lot of front panels just click on with those 6 contact points. So 3D print something with those in the same place, then you literally just rip it off and slap the new one on, click, click, click. So that might be a really neat way to, because you could even cut holes in the side panel and like throw a piece of plastic behind it. And there's some pretty cool stuff. So, anyways, those are my thoughts for the day. Thank you for either listening or not. I really, like I said, thanks for listening to me rant about some asshole flipping me off today. And I really hope this went well. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here so I can go back and listen. Hopefully everything okay. Biggest concern, audio with my mouth. I get a preview over here without headphones. I think I really can't tell if it's not right. So, y'all have a good night. Thank you for listening to me talk. Wish y'all well, and I will catch you in my next live stream or video.